Hello and welcome back. I'm Joe and this is Captain of Industry. Last time was a little bit embarrassing, but I think it's okay because we've all been there, and if we learned anything, then just following the recipe may be a simpler option than trying to think about everything all the time until it's too late. Well, it's time for another, what problems do we have kind of episode. And I think we already know from last time that fuel is currently the thing that we don't have a lot of. And we have a lot of vehicles, and we don't have a train to transport the fuel from, this place to a place where it's actually used. And it feels like we're actually collecting quite a bit of fuel. Like, these things are generally full most of the time, where these are not full also most of the time. On top of that, I don't really love how all of this is set up. Some of the pipes, some of the other things just don't quite tickle me or fancy me the right way. So I think we need to fix that, just like I fixed my fan just now. Yeah. Okay, how are you gonna do that? Well, you just said recipe. The recipe is the thing that you should follow, and that is true. We have a lot of room on this side, which we could just use. And I should probably plan for this again, just by the nature of how all of this is set up. Sure. How much fuel do you actually get in right now? So you are refueled. Great. You have up to 1,000 units of oil coming through. That's great. Then there is 250 stored in each of these. So that's 500. And another 800 in these containers. So this is more than a ship. To really understand where we are fuel-wise, I need to understand how low we get on oil before anything else happens. And you can see that actually, scratch that, because I, at the very least, know that I am too close to max consumption on production on those levels right now. So that's probably not happening. I'm not sure that I can upgrade my ship, but right now it looks like this is pretty low, this is pretty full, the ship is effectively empty, and we only have a little bit more oil coming from these guys to even consider doing something with. And by the time the ship comes back, these will not be full. So yeah, it just feels like one of those. We have a little more. I think we can add one extra layer of this production, but I'm not sure that we can add two full extra layers of that production. So what I really would like to do, and I do appreciate that that is happening over here, what I really like to do is just add a couple more things that would allow us to produce the things that we want to produce. And for that, I would really just love to be able to plop one of these down again. I do understand that this is mostly a problem of watershed and not something else silly. So this is fine. Some parts need to be in the ocean. Not enough in the ocean. Now there's enough room. Ocean access blocked by something else. There is a little island. I don't know if you can see that. That is kind of blocking us for silly reasons, but must be placed in the highlighted spot. Okay, it seems like right here is okay for it. I am in blueprint mode, and I intend on keeping that. That's good. What is your problem? You are recover ocean access. Oh, interesting. So doing this will actually block things. Very interesting. Very cool. I thought, can I expand this? I can upgrade this to a cargo depot for... Okay, just deliver all the things. I want to see if I can just increase all the things, the reach and destination, all the other parts of this thing. Because if I can effectively just add more of these modules, then that is more than sufficient for what I need to do here. It appears so. There are more spots to the side here that now would like a couple extra container accesses, and that is wonderful because now I can do this. And I can do another one, and then I have to figure out how many ships I can actually connect to this thing. I do not know the answer to that, but this is a good start. All right, you have a ton of room right there. I think you should just start going lateral instead of the dimension or the direction that you currently have, because that should help you a little more. You have all the disposal tanks sitting over here, so that should be good. We're also pretty high on workers right now, so everything feels good. Cement is really, really, really extremely low, and since I do want to get my construction stuff coming through, I should probably at the very least boost these two so stuff comes through as much as they can. Coal is pretty empty here, and if I can actually just keep this one a little fuller, that could be a good thing. These guys are all empty. Okay, but every once in a while they produce a little bit. And then how are you doing? Not that much coal. You guys are actually digging up not coal right now. I don't love that. What is my coal ratio? Yeah, the coal is not really over there anymore. I have to go to the other side. So what we're going to do is just let them know that we do not need this side any longer. There you go. There's a little bit of coal left. There's also a little bit of coal left here, but most of the coal is on this side of the equation, and that's where I want to actually get in. So I hope that this will help me. I know that I'm just kind of digging underneath a couple of trees there, but that should get me more coal production, because we know that coal is extremely, extremely super duper important, and we can't really lose or miss that. And then we could, if we wanted to, start dumping some other materials in here and just let that be. All the black stuff is coal. We want to keep the black stuff going. Great. Construction parts. We should be okay. We have 1,200 of those, and we have 1,100 of these. I'm not sure that any of these really cost all that much. It doesn't tell me. Oh, there it tells me. 70 of that. Cool. 50 of that. 50 of that. These are both the same. Cool. Good to know. And 40 of this. And that's really it. And then we just need another little bit more water coming in. Okay. I kind of like where all of this is heading. So let's get this produced. Understand your ratios again, because you haven't looked at this in a little while. Before you try to understand your ratios, how about no lab is available? Is there any research that I can do right now that isn't blocked? Because this one technically is available, but we are blocked. Where are we blocked right now? Is this one the one that's blocked? Is this one? I really don't know. Where is the blocked one? Where is... Okay, there. 10987 1 recycling edict. You need research lab 2. So everything that's over here effectively just has to be have to be turned off. So I'm going to remove all of you guys. It didn't kill everything right away. That's good. Remove this one and everything that's behind there, and then remove the chicken farm and everything that's behind there. And then we should be able to at least do a couple things research-wise. Household goods. Apparently we have to find a recipe or something for that. Alright, so everything that's behind research lab 2 we're going to get rid of. Soybean farming. Sure, why not? They can start doing that. No, that is number 2. Where's number 1? Where is the research that is currently actually active? There should be another green one. It is right here. How are you not... No, you're number 2 in queue. What is the current research? Oh, it's this one. Okay, that has the red exclamation point. That is telling me something, and that's what was the problem there. And clicking that button removed stuff from the other order again. Whatever. It's fine. I'll just research the things that I have because I can. But yeah, I'm blocked here because of research lab number 2, which we don't have yet. Fine. Fuel. How are we on fuel right now? 100 tons. Great. What you wanted to do was look up the recipe. So look up the darn recipe. We want fuel. No, we want diesel. D-I-S-L. D-I-S-L. Great. Distillation stage 2. Okay, production for diesel. We really have 2 only available. One is producing light oil. I think that's the one that we're currently sitting in. It doesn't produce wastewater or exhaust here, so that's the one that we're going to stick with. And we need the distillation stage 2. What can we do with the medium oil? Medium oil we can put into... Hold on. I'm confusing something here. That's my input. Okay, medium oil is the input. And I have to produce that from the distillation stage, which produces some sour water. Sour water at this point I can really only turn into this, or sour water stripper, which we already have, We can get some sulfur out, which is good. Ammonia, which is probably good. And water. I like water. Take that out of sour water, and all we need is a little bit of steam. I like that a lot. Cool. So there's a recycling cycle that we can get into here, which should be super helpful. All right. You need to figure out your ratios. Otherwise, it's not going to work, come out very well. What are you going to do with the heavy oil? Heavy oil today we can burn, and we can burn again over here. Our problem there is that we need 3 units of this for 1 unit of this. So we need a double boiler. We just have to prefer one of these, but I don't mind burning this instead of coal in this cycle. Okay, I am convinced now at least that I want this to be a separate section over here. And honestly, if you want to put that there, it's also not the end of the world. The trees over here I don't like right now. We don't really have room on that side to do anything silly. So tree people, forestry-wise, tree harvesting organization, can you get into this and just strip this bare just for the time being? Do I have to unassign one of the tree harvesters for that? Maybe I do. But you're one of the trucks that doesn't have enough fuel currently. Got it. Cool. All right. Everyone is out of fuel down here. How? How are you not getting fuel from the current location? You should have no problem just getting what you wanted. There you go. But yeah, all the trucks are pretty much empty, which is obviously not super helpful. But that is how it is. All right. Set up your fuel, because this is the fuel ratio that you want. First, I need the frackers. No, the basic distillers. DIS. Someone put that in a comment. Yes, you were right. I was just reading it wrong as usual, but that's fine. So a bunch of seawater will turn into brine. Are we doing anything with the brine right now? I'm pretty sure we're not, but it's interesting. Actually, no. These are for getting water for the boiler. They're not for anything else. So get that out of your system. Okay. We can produce some crude oil, some steam here. Okay, that's relatively easy, and we can organize all of that with pipes. I kind of want to go straight out this way and then just expand to the left. You don't really want to expand to the left. You want to keep the recipes right. All right, let's stick with the recipes then. The first one is this. I can pin that, and I can put this one right next to it. It's this order. Okay, that's good. And this one's already boosted. Let's turn the boost off for a minute so I can actually see what we're doing. And oh, I already triple overloaded all of this, so that's not super helpful. Understood. Got it. Okay, read some things because this is all about recipes. You're also overloaded, so it's not super helpful. I'm going to pause it because otherwise I'm really going to run out of fuel. And I know I can trade stuff, and I have things that I can trade for. But I would like to fix this as fast as possible. So, crude oil, a little bit of steam, turns into medium oil, great, and then heavy oil. The heavy oil thing is the thing that I looked at earlier, which we can turn into a boiler recipe, great. With a little bit of water and a little bit of heavy oil, we can get more steam and some exhaust. That sounds nice, although more complicated than I can probably handle today. But that's okay. You do have to go this way, otherwise this is never going to work. Okay. Let's build a distillation stage, or distillation stage 1 and 2. What are they both? They're not the same ones. Distillation stage 2, distillation stage 1. What I really care about is my output. 1 to 1. Great. So that's what we're going to build. It's really just these two together, but I want to see what we're actually doing here. Just to figure something out. You really don't have to. Okay, fine. Just need one of these, please and thank you. Put them together, put them right here. Give yourself a little bit of extra room so you can see what happens. And honestly, I'm going to flip this with F because I already know that this is going to be where we start with this. There doesn't need to be anything to the right of this. So that's the first one. Cool. We already understand that this setup is fine and can get us to what we need to do here. I do have to connect other pipes to all three of these connectors to get us 600 tons of crude oil out of this area, but you will see that will all work just fine. This one will take in crude oil. You know what we're going to do with that? Just put a storage in front of it, because now we can combine our oil that comes in from here into 400 units of oil if that would ever be a thing, but we can also just have two regular pipes that pump that 120 that we can get if we double this up. Otherwise, just a single pipe. All of that should be okay. Not terribly worried about that, but that is fine. Steam comes in here. Okay, steam will probably just be on the outside because look at the amount of steam that we need to produce. And honestly, for your safety, I think you just have to think about this. You want a regular boiler if you must, and then you want a secondary boiler if you can. And we're going to use the heavy oil, not the medium oil, because the medium oil we're going to turn something else in. But let's build this boiler here, medium oil, and I would prefer looking the other way. Okay, let's do this. Okay, steam goes that way. Nope. Steam goes that way. The CO2 or the gases just go that way. That's all fine. And it's good enough. I don't think I can shift my inputs and outputs outside of this. That's fine. All right. Grab one of these and make you look the other way. Also F, R, R, and then F again, R, R, because why not? I want both of the steam to point the same direction. And this is not going to work the way that I wanted to. There we go. I want both of the steam to look the same direction, or steam outputs. And then I want both of the exhaust to look the same output. I just want this one to be the primary steam producer for the stuff. So pipe balancer, we will just throw right in the middle of these. Probably right there is fine, just to make yourself feel better. We're going to pump one in there and one in here. And I'm going to tell this pipe one that this one has higher priority because that is our waste burner. Set the recipe to the thing that you want. You wanted the heavy oil, I think, or medium oil. I already forgot. There we go. Medium oil. We want the heavy oil to sit right there. So your recipe is going to be medium oil. No, heavy oil. You just set that. Cool. So that goes in here. With that in mind, it still needs water, and that's fine, but we also have to store our medium oil somewhere. I don't think there's going to be a lot of opportunity for oil to sneak in here, but this should be fine for getting us started. And this is just going to store the heavy oil. Cool. That will come from out here. That's going to be waste, and currently the waste is pushed out of this one, and there's no waste that we really care about here besides the light oil. You know what? Pretty sure you have a recipe for light oil as well. Cool. Should you allow both to pump in? I think that could be bad. Why? Because that extra one may block you at some point, but it will only block you if... I don't think I need this power unit anymore, so I'm just going to remove that really quick. Thank you. Do you have a little bit of fuel stored here? Yes, you do. Let's just transfer all that stuff away. Transfer this one away too, if you don't mind, and then we can continue that. I'm thinking that if this boiler is supposed to be able to take heavy oil and light oil, which both will be, well, deposited, which we both get from that operation over there, then we have to be able to consume both of those in this boiler. This is getting complicated. I like it. I like that a lot. Not kidding. But we have to store both of them. So let's just put one here and one here. One will be for heavy oil. That's what we said. And one will be for the greener stuff until we do something else with the greener stuff, light oil. Cool. So both of those want to feed into this guy. And I think that if I make the final connection just one bit right here where they both come together, then there will be at most one extra unit sitting here, and they will only sit there if this thing hasn't burned through 54 or 36 units of the thing yet. And if it's not burning through that as the fuel, we have stuff being produced. We have the steam produced right here. And if it is empty, then it will just come from the other side. So at most, there's just going to be one sitting in front of either of the storages, which should be okay for what we're trying to do here. So that's the first thing, that's fine. I think I will simply use water from out here to get us going on this side. I'm not saying that I like the pipe connections as they are right now, especially since that one is probably interfering with our trucks that desperately need this connection right now. So let's do that again, just a little better. I need you somewhere over here. E. Let's use R. Bells and pipe snapping us off. That's great. 3 up. That is almost okay. And then control lets me move through there. That feels good. This should be okay. We're getting it. Don't worry. You're okay right there. And then this one is our... Where's our boiler? Our boiler is right down there. R to reconnect to that thing. Or disconnect to that pipe. Let's do that just for now. I'm probably going to move all of the water, and I will move all of the fuel production as it exists right now, but we have to get started somewhere. So that is a thing. Also, one thing that I feel like I've now understood for how the game works is don't overthink the layout of all your things. Just be willing to redesign everything multiple times throughout the lifetime of the game, and then you should be okay eventually. We'll see how much I actually take that to heart, but it is probably true. It's probably appropriate to say the thing that you design the first time is never going to be the thing that you end up with. So let's just go with that. You go here, and you will be the brown stuff, and then you currently will go here. Yep, we're also going to go nice and high, and even one higher. R to disconnect again. Run on top of this pipe. Why do I care about this? Because, there we go. There you go. And then R to connect to this. Perfect. Why do I care about this? Oh, hold on. You're going to produce 30. So we can't infinitely pump more stuff into this pipe. We do have to worry about the capacity of the pipe relatively soon, but that's okay. And then we have brine. What do we want to do with brine? Right-clicking on this gives us some recipes, and then this guy tells us it will produce sulfur, which is great. Ammonia, which fertilizer. Cool. I like that the back button on my mouse actually works here. It will produce ammonia for us, and it will produce extra water that we need, obviously, and sulfur. And it will not make sour water create any type of pollution, which this is bad. So that's a good thing. How much sour water do we have to store and produce? Well, it's a 36. So that, again, kind of translates to you need to handle a lot of this. And would it be better if I just do all the math beforehand? Maybe. I don't want to right now, so leave me alone for the time being. We'll just see how this ends up. But what I would like to do is get this one over here. Talk to you again. No, talk to you again. Yes. Sour water. Cool. I would like to build one of these guys because all you need is a little bit extra steam and bad water. I like that. F is the other button, and then steam comes in there. Natrium, water. Okay, but there's brine. Brine and steam can come in on two equal sides. Let's place this in a way that you could expand this down the road. That'd be the clever way to do this. Great. You would go there. And then you would go... Don't snap to that. Just go up right away. Go 2 up, because I think this one is on 3. Oh, but it is on 3, but it's going a funny way, so it wouldn't work for that height. So we may as well go up to 3 right away. Look at our squares, and then you would go down here. Don't do that. Just do this one. Why? Because if I block the top one right away, then it's going to be harder to expand. This way I can at least run another pipe like that once this one is truly full through those guys. Okay. So far, so good. What are you supposed to handle? You're supposed to handle oil, crude oil. You're going to get that oil from out there. Most of this stuff in the middle will go away, but how about you start with a large pipe? I think you owe yourself that. Okay, large pipe, you have to run all the way to here. until we have a better answer. That one actually is mostly empty all the time anyways, so you will probably have to connect this one, and then we're just going to remove pipes as we go. I just don't feel comfortable doing that right now until we're actually done with all of this, because it still has to be built. You may have noticed that, and we still have to get stuff done in between. All right, what's the recipe? The recipe that I'm looking for is this: 36 units of sour water, which, how much are you spitting out? 18. So it's a 2 of these to 1 of these, and 36 is also more than what the normal pipe can do, but you're just 18. So this is fine. You just need a friend right next door. Okay, let's get that friend going. F to flip you around. Yep, the steam one can go right there. I do want at least a little bit of room, and I will also have to roam a couple of the conveyor belts out here. So let's make those, get those organized like so. Do you want steam in the middle or steam here? At this point, it probably doesn't matter. This is a large pipe. You don't need a large pipe. This one can be a small pipe. You could, no, this is 36. You cannot do this with a single pipe, so you have to do it like this. Run the pipe like that. Get you ammonia. The ammonia, those pipes are the easy ones. These conveyor types are a little more difficult. Where do you want to store the sulfur? I would say right out here, but there's water coming out of this. Okay, water pipes are very easy to handle. All right. I like it. I like what's happening here. What are you going to do with the sulfur? That's a stupid question. I have no idea what I'm going to do with the sulfur yet. I've seen it used in a couple places earlier, but I have no clue what all is going to happen with this down the road. Actually, I would much rather do this. Same reason as earlier. I would like to load these up with the right amounts. You're going to produce 9 units, so yeah, conveyor belt here is probably going to sufficient for a while until I need that one. But I already know that I have there 18, 2 of these to 1 of those, so I can build now 4 of these setups for that current setup before I have to expand that and do anything else silly. Do I need that? Currently, all I'm trying to do is double what I have here, because with the boost that I get from my Unity, I'm already doubling this. So 4 is my current production. That's what I'm trying to reproduce, and then I have to expand that, and hopefully I can just copy that when I'm done with doing what I'm currently doing, which I would be pretty happy about. All right, copy button. Let's run this through here and see how bad it looks if I just copy this one. FRR. Yeah, some of the pipes go the opposite ways, which I don't love, but most of the things I think I can at least use, because you're just a problem for where you're going that way. These are both connecting to the exact same thing, so that should work. You're feeding back into here, so they can connect to the thing, and you are a normal oil pipeline that can just go through the existing one, which is perfect. Let's do that connection from there to here. That looks good. We still don't have steam connected there. That's okay. And again, this one, that's the same stuff. That's the sour water or whatever it is. Fuel, we haven't really connected yet. And then this one, you should connect both of you should connect to the same level of what we already have. And that should take care of those things. Cool. Let's count up steam. 6. Okay. 3, 9, 18, 18, 21, 24 on this one, and one of you will produce 48. So we're about halfway full, which is good, and we're only the half of this half. So now I should be able to mostly copy what I have here, which is not the prettiest thing in the world. Now, don't get me wrong, I understand that, but we can copy this. Move it up a little bit, and I think you will want to move most of this anyway. So how about you just do this here, which is exactly what we have, then get rid of everything that you kind of just copied, because it's just kind of clustered. It's a little busy, and I don't love this busy, because I don't think we need it this busy. Then I'm going to talk to you, and we're going to say, everyone, please hop on down here with a little bit more room for everyone. Cool, that's good enough. You pop in there. Yep, make your turn a little more obvious. The top one comes out of here, and here is the light oil. The light oil goes in there, and the light oil still has the top level connection right there, which is great. Do you care about going anywhere else? No, not really, but that's fine. Thank you. Excuse me. You don't want to connect it like that, but come on. That's just being silly. No, I don't want to destroy that. I just want that one to feed into this. And then you will be our next level. 1, 2, 3. No, level 3 is that guy. All right, then you just run down here. Stop it. That connected to something a little silly. I don't want you or you. You connect into that, and then you just really need this pipe connector here, but you also have to really want to install that in the right place, which I don't feel like you're gonna do for me. So take you back a couple nodes, get you in there. Too close to other pipe connector? No, you're fine. There you go. No problem. Okay, so that's the first one. Again, just a little extra room. The only thing that we don't have just yet is this pipe being actually connected to something. And we're going to make that prettier later. But that's the first one. Great. The second one really does the same thing. What do you want to do here? All of the big pipes really do the same operation. And what do we have here? 12 heavy oil. No, heavy oil goes to there. Okay. So we're going to have 48 medium oil and 30 light oil going through this, which means 48, we can do 4 full units into the light oil. That's good. So I just need a large pipe. Medium oil. No, heavy oil. Yes. Hold on. What are you taking? You take the medium oil. Okay. So the heavy oil shouldn't have any problems with transportation of the waste to this side, obviously. And then the light oil, this one we can handle 4 whole pipes, as long as I use large pipes for this endeavor and behavior, and that should be okay. Yeah, 30, 60, 120 is what I get if I double this up. I'm just trying to do math, and I have to make sure that this one is a pipe on the correct level, and right now it doesn't look like you would be. But we should be able to at least upgrade these here relatively easy. Yeah, that's a 60. It's supposed to be a 200. And then we can run this, especially if we run down here. With that in mind, you just want to make this your main pipe instead of running the pipes on the outside. I was kind of thinking the same thing. Would that be easy? Do you want to run 4 pipes out here or what? There's another pipe coming in just a minute. I think you will be better off if you have your out pipes all kind of pointing the same way. Okay, so we're gonna get rid of that. Got it. That means this pipe needs a friend, and they all have to be large pipes. E level 2. Okay, that's fine. You go there. You're definitely flipped here. Toggle direction F. Okay. You're just connected in there. That looks good. I need... which one is that? The bottom one. The bottom one. This is not the right pipe. I want to upgrade you. Can't upgrade you here. Why can't I upgrade you in this view? That seems kind of silly. Okay, just you go, you go, you go. Then this one should be a large pipe now. That looks good. E. There. Now that's large pipe. Great. This is the other one. I think you can probably upgrade it right after you build it, but I would like it upgraded before then. So what we're gonna do is just run this all the way back like this, because it does have to be upgraded to the very end. You could just press the shift button now. Got it. And then use the big pipe to do this. One higher, R to not connect to this, and one higher again. There you go, that's what I wanted. I just want to run it right on top of all of this, so it's hopefully easier to connect the things. You want to run on top of this, that's okay, I think. Actually, you probably have to just jump a little higher then. That's also okay, because pipes make real easy connections. Okay, no, gotta delete this first. It can be a regular pipe that feeds into this. That's not a problem. It just has to happen. Cool. Beautiful. It did the thing. All right, so this is... the top one is what? The top one goes to the light oil. Yep, that's the light oil, even though I clicked the wrong thing. The light oil comes out of this. All right, that's pipe 1. That's good. That connects to this thing, even though it kind of goes around the whole thing there. Fine, which means these are no longer required. That is extra piping that we don't need. Okay, I'm gonna confuse myself about these pipes. I know it already, but that's fine. This is the other oil, and that oil has to go into here. That feels like is easy enough, and we're just gonna make that happen. Cool. So there's a large pipe now, and all we really need is this whole apparatus flipped over to go the other route, or to go the other direction, to feed into these two pipes from where they are coming from right now. We still need to handle all the steam. All right, this is too much, buddy. You're doing too much. Yeah, that's fine. How much steam do we need to go through here? Honestly, not that much. R, go on this level. R to connect stuff. You can feed into here. You can feed into there. That's all easy, and you get a nice connection right down there. That we can deal with, and that is fine. The only one that we don't have connected yet is fuel. How much fuel are we getting out of these guys when they run? 36. So that's just a large pipe. And for a large pipe, that is 6 connectors. So one large pipe can totally handle everything that we want to do here. Because of how we have set up everything else, well, we're going to do 4 of these, and we're probably going to boost them with Unity, because it's the only way I know, well, the only way that can truly handle all of this. This has to be a blueprint. Like, if you play this a lot, this absolutely has to be a blueprint. But right now it feels like I know that these 4 units feed into that one to bring out some sulfur and some water, and that's great. I still need the other 4 units to also produce on the other side. But knowing how this actually all lays out when we're done with it, I feel very much... what is the output here? The output is the input for this one. The input for this one is the sour water. Yes. I feel very much that I should not do this off to the side, because it will make it really hard to copy anything. There is our connector. It's nice and almost in the center. It doesn't have to be full center, but it's almost in the center. I would like to store my fluid now. Somewhere over here should be fine. And then we're just going to connect that one, of course, to this guy. It didn't have to be that high, but apparently I put all the pipes really super darn high for all of this, but that may be okay. How much are you producing on the sour water? You are producing 18, so yeah, a normal pipe shouldn't be a problem here. But there you go. We have that one set up. We're not getting our water collection done just yet, because you don't fit here. I'm not sure that there's any way to really fit the water collection in here in one bit, but that's fine. Let's give me my copy, then let's give me my delete, and then let's give me my copy again. And then I will tell you, I 100% was tempted with doing this on my own, like redo everything, restructure things, and just kind of do the thing by myself, which wouldn't be the end of the world, but it would be pretty lame, because that's literally all that's going on here. There's nothing else fancy really happening. All this is you build a factory and you try to make it as good as you possibly can. Storage wise, this is the middle. This is how you're going to connect to it. Great. You go there and you go there. I want to keep this as compact, as simple as possible. So that's what we're going to do with those. Fluid storage, I would like to have a little bit of room in between to get the other stuff out of here, which is the ammonia. The ammonia has to be stored somewhere as well. Where you want to put that? Honestly, I am tempted to... I wanted to see if I can actually get my my storages, no, my connections out of here. And you could do this. That's fine. You could also point both of them inside, but then you don't have the water for free. That's fine. So ammonia goes there and ammonia goes there. Nice and symmetrical. Everything is doing the same thing, and then I can decide what I need to do with all of these guys. Obviously, this one, the loose storage is off by 1 square, so let's make that happen. Just to make it actually all be the same on the point connections, and then that one is one that we can always copy however we feel, whenever we feel. With that in mind, we may as well just make this a true independent connection. There we go. We don't need that coupler anymore, and this one can just go down here. Why does this have to look different? That's an excellent question. You, and you. Now it looks the same. Great. So this pipe monster is going to do all the things that we needed to do, and I don't know if you can tell, but the pipe over here that was blocking access to the other pipe is now disappeared, so these can all go just out 1. Does it look good yet? No, because you don't actually store fuel. Do you want to store fuel at the edge of this thing where trucks have the possibly longest way to get there, or how do you want to do that? Honestly, that is fine. You know why that is fine? Because there's nothing that says we can't adjust that later, and I can at least get a couple rounds of fuel stored here, and then all I need from these guys is a large pipe, obviously. Excuse me, large pipe. Large pipe goes in here. That looks fine. Do you want to go out here first? There we go. I wouldn't mind if you start out on this side before we go too wild. There you go. And then you feed in there, and the first one is free because this one can just be a small pipe, and that will make my life just a little easier. There we go. You can feed in there. How much fuel are you producing? 36. So yeah, the large pipe should be fine for up to 6 of these setups. Okay, that's your setup. You said that 2 of these handle 1 of this. All right. What do you want to do here? Do you want to... You just have to feed this one in, or you just move this to the middle of this whole complex? Honestly, that feels better. All right, well, it's just a slight readjustment, but shouldn't be bad. So you come out here. You can at least fit. Great. We're getting there. I am recognizing the problems that I'm making for myself, hopefully early enough where everything else becomes nice and easy. You, I would like to feed you into... I don't want to have unnecessary pipe connections if they're not needed. So if I make this one there and this one down here will just get me the connections, which I also don't need exactly where you are right now, then that's fine because I just have to go down there. That's cool. We don't need this anymore. I just want to copy this. Great. You have a ton of extra piping happening right at the edge of that. Yes, that is true. Okay, you don't need that much extra pipe. Got it. What does that really mean? All I want to do is remove a little, not that much, but about this much. Probably that one, and put another storage unit right in front of that. I'm trying to make it pretty. You don't have steam handled yet. That's okay, but I'm trying to make it compact and pretty as much as I can. It doesn't always work, but I think it's kind of getting to a reasonable location now. Okay, this should be fine. You're kind of building this right next to the like the edge of the... Oh, come on. This one, I think. Yep, that one. You're building kind of to the edge of the first building here, and that should be fine. Okay, all you need is still steam input, and the rest is okay. You may have to put some flares here to just burn off the excess, but I think we're okay. So now we have replicated this without Unity, but more workers. I think it costs more workers. Let's look at this one. You take 6 workers and you take 6 workers. So you double the output with the same amount of workers. That's important. That's important to understand. But now I can do this thing where I just copy pretty much everything that we have here. That looks fine. And flip it like so. All our pipes kind of line up. There you go. That's the pipe that I wanted. And now we can say, do the rest. Okay. Okay, I'm triple checking a couple things, but I think this looks pretty okay. There's a pipe out here. Where is that supposed to go? That is this pipe that goes into fuel. That's a very important pipe, as you probably all know. But we can actually get rid of it from this angle and this angle, and just run something big. Don't go small on this one. Okay. Fuel pipe 2. Run it over here, connect it to our fuel line. E. I think that's the level that you're on. Yep, that's the level that you're on. Good. So you come all the way out here, run to there. You have to run around them. That's all right. We're just going to allow that. And then you get the normal small pipe input feeder or feeder input to connect to this guy. Good enough. All right, so that's all done. Great. That one's connected for steam. Great. That one's connected for crude, but the crude is now obviously coming from the wrong side. That we can fix a better way. What do I want here? I want large pipe connecting somewhere over here, and then go on top of all this. Don't R. Okay. Don't snap to it. That's really all that R meant. That is the right pipe. Okay. So you go there, then you go here. There. I know that I'm blocking something along the way now, but that will be okay. And then you just have to connect to this one. R. That should be fine. Yeah, I have to get rid of a bunch of things there, but that's okay. So that one should give us a little more oil coming into this area. That's wonderful. And all we need is one extra pipe. If you do Unity here, if you do 120, you need a 1 pipe per thing. That is correct. Let's hope that doesn't happen. Q. Go down. I need to run underneath that thing over here. At least I think I do. So that's 120. Or that's 200 coming through when I allow it. Okay, that is all fine. Great. Your steam boilers are sitting over here. How are you going to connect them? Well, you really just need one steam pipe because there's not a lot of steam demand anywhere in this area, so this should be okay. You're going to go probably here. Yeah, that's fine. And then the other one will obviously go to this edge, which doesn't exist anymore because I did something funny with this pipe. Okay. First, we're going to go from there into this one. Gosh, it's going to be so hard to figure out what is what when I'm done with all of this. But we'll just see what happens. So there's steam now going in all of those directions. That's great. We do need a little bit of extra steam for these two. How much did you need? You needed 3 steam. So we can definitely just tap with a small pipe on the steam pipe and get the last pieces out of here. You go there, you go there. It doesn't have to be complicated. It's not perfectly symmetrical, but I don't care right now. Okay, what are we missing? Are we missing a bunch of construction pieces here? Probably. Are we handling all of the outputs? If I make this global, then we have oil coming in there. We have fuel technically coming out here. And for right now, I think what I will do is simply hook into the existing fuel distribution, which is kind of right here. You can't really hook into that without that building getting removed. True that. So we're just going to go to this one. Um, I think that's what it looks like. Okay, you would go to this one. And at some point, we can maybe just feed into this because this one already feeds into the next storage that then feeds the generator. So that should be okay. It takes so long to build a tiny little thing. Is this too big? Yes, probably, but I do need the fuel. I only need to build one of these right now. I understand that, but there's more stuff needed every single day. Okay, where's your water coming in? Your water's coming in on that side. You know what that means? That you also get your water in from that side. Technically, it's this one. I don't know if I'm going to leave you exactly where it is. This one is coal. Okay, where are we going to get coal from right now? We are getting coal from over all the way over here. And there's no coal right now because we're on a coal shortage, because we discussed that, or we discovered that earlier, so that was a little unfortunate. But that's probably okay if I give you an extra lifeline and say, I want coal in here. And it's relatively high priority. Let's make it like a 5. Doesn't have to be a 1 because the 1 is the other boilers that we have. And at some point, hopefully, this one is not required anymore because that boiler can do all the things that it wants to do. Okay, I think this is fine. Should we see if we can actually build this? Unpause, I think, is what we need. We definitely need all of these boilers unpaused. That's important. Let's get stuff actually started here. Let's get this one through here. The pipes I'm not terribly worried about, but I do need to get half of all of this running to see that actually everything is working. That is fine. I do think that I need this one, this one, this one. Then you go through there. Kind of connects to that side. Yeah, we don't need the right half of any of this besides these fuel tanks, which means we also need that, which is also connected, which then means we need most of these fuel pipes, honestly. Okay. Yep. 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 This is steam going up there. Don't need that part. But these guys are all super duper important. Okay, great. Run the trucks a little faster. You have no fuel. How low on fuel are you? You're effectively on no fuel right now. So what we're gonna do is borrow some fuel, I think. Do you have any materials that you can just trade really quick? Don't want to trade golden construction parts because we need that to build something right now. So we only have 1200 and I don't even know that that is enough. So what we're going to do is just fuel. I would like to borrow probably 600. Sure. Borrow that and just pay it back as fast as we can. That should be fine. There it is. Just showed up. It's on the other side of the island, so that's a little bit of a problem. But this should be all fine. How much Unity do we have? Tons. So just start paying for this. Unity tool. Cool. Yeah. 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 Yep. This is what I'm talking about. I'm sure someone already told me that that existed the whole time, but if you don't know, you don't know. So you go there, you go here. Do you mind building this one while you're at it? That'd be grand. You just kind of connect it into there. That's fine. And then the rest is just feedback. All of that feels good. Because these are blue, I'm just going to build them because I don't want the trucks to build them. You're also blue, so we're going to build you. What about over here? Over here is also a little bit blue. You need to be built, also blue. We really didn't spend much Unity on that one, which I'm kind of excited for. But that all feels pretty good. We do have the workforce, which is a little wild. We have currently no fuel coming in there, which is a little crazy because of oil is actually sitting over here. Okay, let's just tap this. Don't be silly, just use a bigger pipe. Tap this with a big pipe. Make you a thing. Built. Okay, now oil is flowing through there. That's great. Our ship is doing the thing that the ship is supposed to be doing. It's kind of empty. And hopefully it's filling up these guys. So far, so good. So you have oil. You technically have steam because this guy has a little bit of coal sitting there. You are currently, output is full. and it appears that we don't have the steam collected yet. Okay, the exhaust is up to 60 from this and up to 72 from that one. I think that just tells me that I need the bigger boy. Can I actually fit you in there? Yes, I can. That makes me feel better. You go there, and you go here for all your fumes. And now it's nice and easy to control and see where everything goes. But there you go. Put that one in there. Big pipe, big tower. Cool. You can produce again. Great. I have you set to this being the higher priority, which is the free stuff that I can get from here. And it looks like we are starting to produce. Great. That's what I want to see. How much oil are we going to get out of this? I have no idea. Also, what are we going to do with all of these things? Water? I'm not concerned about. I think this one will be used ASAP right away. We're probably out of coal, which means these guys are not producing anything. How are you not getting any coal with all of those guys doing the things that you're supposed to do? What are you actually missing? You're missing both. You're missing water and coal. That ain't good. Okay. Feed. The cooling towers are getting stuff back. We should put some of the low steam. No, there's no low steam coming from anywhere else. Okay, we need some water. Got it. There's water over here. So if you are going to try to do something, do it now. Connect the water pipe into that extra source. Make it nice and high as you can. I don't want it to be in the way. Run all the way down here and connect it to that source. That priority source thingy. Okay. Then you can make this is priority, but then from wherever it comes from, that is fine. Build it with Unity because that's how we do things now. Build. A little faster, please and thank you. We need that power. We need these guys moving yesterday. That should be sucking in some water right now. That's good. It's just a small pipe, but it's good enough. There's at least a little bit of water sitting right here, but obviously it's just not enough to run this constantly. Do we have this one actually set up to... Why are you set up to nothing? It's so weird. I want this one not to be empty. I actually want you to be mostly full. Someone drop off stuff there all the time, please and thank you. But okay, so now power has to regenerate. It doesn't turn on right away. Missing input products. Yes, here's the boiler again. Needs a little more coal to do the next round. Cool. We're getting there. We're still not full on power, but we are getting there. And you guys are causing trouble. Okay. Operational vehicle the depot that connects with this type of vehicle. Okay, interesting. I need to tell you that you have enough workers so that you can recover some vehicles for being idiots and getting stuck behind all of this. Got it. Recover you. Good job. Well done. And now we are barely producing the power that we need to make all of this work. Okay. You are 100%, you are 100%, you're 100%, and you're 100%, which really just translates to whenever you are out of something, which is apparently a lot most of the time, and this one doesn't have enough coal, we're not producing enough steam. That is high pressure steam. That's 48 units. You need 24 and 24. So this one's already maxed out. I have to build another one of these somewhere where it makes sense. I don't know where that is yet. This episode is already way too long for what we normally try to do in escapades like this. But it looks like we are getting coal back, at least right now, which is a good thing. Oh, you were taking fuel. Okay, no. This is just lower priority. I don't, okay, that's the problem. It was feeding wrong. We had a lot of extra water being produced here. But our main problem was actually that we didn't have coal in the power production. Our current consumption is 10.3 megawatts. Register that. This thing can produce 800 kilowatts, but we are 2 megawatts short. So not much is going to happen there. At least we only have a little bit of sour water sitting here. We do have enough people doing the thing that we want them to do. Still not enough fuel to do all the other things. That is fine. This should all feed back. Our oil is relatively low. You still don't have power. Interesting. Are you consuming more power than you need? No. You need to produce more power. Okay. You need to produce more power. You know how you're going to do that? You're going to replicate this. All right. Where are you going to replicate this? Closer to water and coal would be great. This episode is an hour long. Yep. You're welcome. You're producing all your coal here, but you never have enough coal to actually do the thing. For reasons. For several reasons, probably. Where can you get a little bit of power from? I don't know that I need to worry about where to get power from right now too much, because all I really have to do is make sure that these guys operate at maximum production and medium oil is not going anywhere. Okay, that is potentially a problem. Medium oil cannot go anywhere because this guy is full of medium oil, and diesel, the light oil, can't go anywhere. The light oil is supposed to flow into this. Okay. Let's follow this pipe, this pipe, this pipe. It is piped over here, but it's not piped down there. And where is it connected to the rest? It is not connected to the rest. Okay, that would make sense. As in, B-Roll Joe forgot something. I think that one and this one will do the trick. No, you're actually connecting to the wrong one right there. Okay, same level, same thing. Okay, that's what we're trying to do here. So it's supposed to be a big pipe. I am 50% certain that it's supposed to be a big pipe, so that's what we're gonna do. You can either go down there or here. I don't mind going right here. Then we're gonna upgrade the Unity tool. Cool. Build it and see if it gets connected. That one looks connected. That one looks connected too. So now the boiler over here can do something, and these guys are actually producing. That looks good. I'm expecting a little bit of fuel to come through here now. Wonderful. And yeah, we're still having trouble with power, but we are barely holding on to what we need right now. So I guess we can call it okay, because we are not, these are not stopping. That's good. So we have now doubled. No, we are now at the capacity that we were without the Unity. Great. As you can see, our current production is not where I wanted it. Okay. No, wait, hold on. Yes, this is our current production that we had before, and now I have to do this one to make that also work. That's going to kill your power, though. Yep, I can't turn that on without my power coming back, and I can't produce much more without having Unity doing the thing that I wanted it to do. This one gets a Unity boost because that one has a Unity boost, but it's not great. It's not great. At least this one is full, so there's enough oil to be picked up at the oil platform. Great. Okay, well, good luck, because I thought I did more than this, but the only thing I did really is recreate what I had here, and I'm using a little bit more of the local units than we did on the other hand. And then, oh boy, this is not good. You are full on heavy oil. You don't have water because the water is not connected. Got it. Built. Faster. I want that boiler to do something useful. Are you going to do something? You don't have water yet. Is the water coming? Yep, the water is coming. Slowly but surely. Okay, run over here. Now the water is being split. That looks good. This for some reason decided to be a humongous pipe. That's fine. And now it can do the thing that I wanted you to do anyways. That's great. We have a little bit of steam coming out here. Yeah, this one is my lower priority. I would like to get all my high pressure steam from this end and not from the other end. That would be great. Then you guys can just produce whatever you feel like producing. Awesome. Fuel is still going down. Power is not really going up. How much power do you require? Nothing? I don't believe that. How much power do you require? Nothing. I also don't believe that. And how much power do you require? 160 kilowatts. So none of these distillers actually require any power. You know what that translates to? Build them all. Yep. Which then also translates to I have to build that side. That one requires a little bit of power, but really not a lot. Unity-wise, let's upgrade all of this and give you a boost and you a boost. And now we should at least get ahead of our fuel issues that we had. These two will need to be probably, well, this one needs to be burned, then the ammonia over here, and the sulfur over here I have to do something with. But now with these, with all of this fuel, we should be able to actually produce something useful. But I'm probably forgetting something, and that sounds pretty normal. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that this is just full now. You know what we're going to do with that? While you are full, you can go to the flare. Okay. Flare. Let's see how you want to do this. Efficiently. Okay. Waste. No. Yes. Flare. We just have a regular flare. We can use 36 units of light oil. Okay. How much are we producing here? Probably more than that. Not from there, but here. Yeah, 30 units of light oil. Effectively, each of these needs one flare. Luckily, we probably don't need to burn all that much. But, well, realistically, we probably do. How about this? So light oil is already full, and we're not consuming enough steam for this guy. Which brings us to, should this guy just run our next power? Yes, I love it. That's great. Okay. Compute, run over here, get me pretty much everything that we have sitting there. And then the extra steam, the excess steam that we can get out of this should just feed this whole concept that will then in turn produce a little bit more water. That's all fine, but that will be good. I think this is a good thing. I think this is the right thing to do. You would come out here. You get the excess steam, whatever is left over there. You don't need the largest pipe. You can just use a normal pipe. There's no reason for be a large pipe here. Ridiculous. Normal pipe, please. Thank you. No, not there. Come on. Let me connect. That's the connection that I wanted. You can go all the way up to here, but then you need to go up to at least 4. Then you go over there, you go a little bit further. No, not into that tower. Just stop it. You go down here. Okay, yeah, that one can't connect to anything, but that is what? That is just water consumption, really, or water production, I should say. All right. So you back up to here, and then you feed into there, easy enough, and you just get a simple water storage, which will also overload really fast, but that's fine, or overflow really fast. But we like water because water then can feed back into the system that we already have here and more. Okay, so another pipe goes this way, up. Sure, 5 high, sounds great. You go all the way to here, and then you feed into there. Great, that's just more water coming from right here. That's already locally produced. That feels good. That's all of this stuff going in there. That also feels good. What is this? This has to be extra water that we're not using anywhere else. Okay, we're already having the steam, so we don't need extra water for this thing. This probably needs to be redone again. Yep, most likely, but that's the water that we're going to store for right now. I like it, and this setup should work for the power that we're currently lacking. I could be screwing myself setting this up this way, but let's see what happens. If we have the Unity to pay for all of this, may as well produce a little bit of power that's a little more stable. All right. Yeah, you can connect there, that's fine. All of this, they're getting a little bit of extra steam. That's wonderful. And then the flywheels and everything else over here should just produce some of our excess power that we were lacking just a second ago. That looks good. That looks very good. Fuel is not red anymore. That's also a good thing. Right now, we're not producing enough and we're running out of Unity, so that is unhealthy. Let's ununity this one and ununity this one. I do understand that I just spent a ton of Unity to just get to this point, but that feels okay. You probably just refueled because reasons. That's fine. Nobody can get to this guy. Got it. I would like to turn off all imports and exports from here. That's better. Leave my trucks alone. And then, yeah, you just fill into here. You also don't have access to any fuel-based behavior. Okay, well, I can fix that because all that really needs is another fuel storage at a slightly better angle, and that will get us through. Okay, get your pipe in, get that one connected to this pipe, and build it, and be happy. It should all work. You no longer export, you no longer export, no longer import. Nobody do anything, please. Can import cargo. No, I don't want you to import anything. All the fuel just collects over here. I'd be surprised if we need to collect any more extra fuel like this, so this should be fine, and people are doing what they're supposed to do. It's probably not a bad idea, and now I'm just getting a little stretchy here. Probably not a bad idea to actually connect a fuel storage, no, fuel station, that's what it's called. Not cargo docks, not any of this, fuel station, yes. If I connect a fuel station over here, I want to give myself a little bit of extra room, just in case I have to expand my my storage over here. But the real story behind this is if I assign 1 or 2 trucks to this, we should have a much easier way filling up our vehicles wherever they are, and not having to do all this extra mumbo jumbo that we're currently sitting in. We are low on workers now. Okay. Output is full. Okay. Medium oil is full. Okay. You are still sitting on the light oil. Okay. I think what that really translates to is turn one of these turbines off for a moment. I know they don't require any real workers, because if these turbines over here can just stay on top of the light oil that we have sitting out here, which is currently blocking us from doing something useful, then we're in pretty good shape. Well, you have now arrived at the end of the episode, finally, where if you're full, you got to burn it. All right. How much do we produce here? Can I see how much you're carrying? About 10. Well, it's not going to be 10 because it's going to be this much, 30 times 4. So we're going to produce 120 units of that stuff most of the time. All right. You know what that translates to, right? Yes. That translates to we need a balancer, pipe balancer like this. It'll be nice if I can just plop you right in the middle of that. But as you can see, that's not how this works. I'm going to remove a little bit of the middle pipe here. Yes. Unity will pay for that. Thank you very much. Nice and quick. Very good. And then we're going to put a pipe balancer right in the middle of this. Build that right away so we don't lose too much time. Unity can build that in a second-ish. That looks good. And then we're just going to put a burner at the end of this, and the burner can handle 60 ton. Well, the burner right now can't handle that, not a smokestack. Waste management, there we go. So it can only handle 36 tons of light oil, which is not great, but it's at least a start, and I can probably put you... No, it doesn't like to be connected that way. Understood. It's probably just complaining about one direction, not the other direction, not the band. If I build you, do you think you're connected? You do not think you're connected. You need an actual pipe there. Okay, well, that's what the thing actually indicated, so you should have just listened. Okay, rotate this, and we're just going to do one there and one there, just for funsies. Get the first one in here, get the second one in there. Unity will pay for the rest. The 16 points that I still have, I am going to use. And now, this out is my priority. Burn. Yes. That should take care of any excess light oil that we have sitting there. And there's a not insignificant chance that this is actually causing trouble by being such a small pipe. So let's just increase that that capacity a little bit and see if all of these guys can actually do something useful. Looks like right now they not want to be useful. They want to be empty. I need like 20 people. I still have Unity for that. That's actually amazing. And now I would expect our fuel to actually go in the right direction. I know that this burns. That's fine. I think, what are you doing? You are... Output is full. Steam, low is full. Because water is full. Okay, when water is full, what do? When water is full, you build more water storage. Okay. How much water storage do you want here? As much as you want, honestly. Because we don't have room for water to block our power production. That's not how this works. You would feed into that. Unity, can you pay for this? Yeah, we have 6 Unity left. Is that enough for this? 9 Unity required. Cool. You actually build it from the right side. I very much appreciate that. If you don't mind just emptying this out, which is why this one was set to always empty, which is not doing anymore. But keep our trucks a little busy. That's fine. Now we can produce power again. Cool. So that's good. We have workers. We have population growth. We have fuel coming in, hopefully now, as long as this doesn't run out too fast. But I have a feeling that may not be a big problem anymore unless the ship diesel is giving us trouble, which it is giving us trouble right now. There's a little bit of diesel sitting there, but not exactly in the area that we needed. So for the last thing, which is going to be an ugly fix, we're just going to run this one over here, pay for Unity, pay with Unity for that, so the ship can get the extra fuel that it requires to do the thing that it wants to do. There you go. Already runs over here, and now the ship can leave. Great. I think that's it. I think we have gone really wild on our fuel. For now, can someone please keep this one empty and this one empty? Ammonia, yes. What do we want to do with that for the time being? The flare can do something with. With oxygen, we can get some fertilizer out of this. That'd be cool. Yeah, we should totally do that relatively soon. Build fertilizer out here? Sure. Hour 20? At this point, does it really matter if I skip something? I think all I really want here is for you to just use the stuff that we have available. So if we do that, set your recipe to this. That feels good. And then ammonia can come in however it feels. That's water. Ammonia, 1, 2, 3, just for fun, make it high enough. You would come all the way over here. You would go in that one. This ammonia, of course, also connects. And then we get some extra fertilizer, in which I'm assuming our farms need. There's that first one. The second one is the oxygen producer, so we're just going to right click on this. There's an air separator. We can get 36. That's enough for 2 of these. Perfect. Built that one because I'm pretty sure we have the workforce right now to make this actually work. You go there. You feed straight into you. And then the nitrous oxide, nitrous stuff can just be stored, and if desired can be burned right away. I think that's fine. You would go here. Nope. You go here, and then what do you do? Is that a flare? Is that what we're doing here? It's that one. It's nitrogen. Yes, it's just a smokestack. Oh, that's nice. It's not even pollution. Perfect. Smokestack, that one. Looks great, and then eventually we can turn that off. How much Unity do we have to make this one run? Some. So let's just build it. This one needs a little bit extra, but that's fine. So yeah, now we should be able to at least get ammonia out here. This one stores the fertilizer. Fertilizer has to go, obviously, into... Is it a flat conveyor? No, it's a pipe. Okay, liquid fertilizer goes into pipes. Or into liquids. Got it. It's liquid fertilizer. Yep. Good call. I'm surprised that this one has 2 pipe connections for that, actually, but I guess I will take it. You go there, and then you would be fertilizer 1, I think is what it said. Yeah, fertilizer 1. Keep you nice and empty if you don't mind. Awesome sauce. Cool. So once this one is done, which is now, we can start fracking again. We have enough people to do this. Unity is going the right direction. It's not perfect, but I think we really have what we needed for right now to keep moving on. Sulfur. No, you're not done, because sulfur needs to be done something with. We could get some acid out of that. We could get some slag out of that. Fertilizer too. Yeah. Well, you screwed that up a little bit, didn't you? Yep, I did. Can't build where that pipe is. That's fine. Just do this, do that. Unpause this one and this one so we can buy a little bit of extra time. But yeah, maybe we can dump sulfur actually somewhere, but not sure that's important. Sour water over here just can't be used until these guys are done. What else can I do with sour water? I can dump it if there's extra stuff. Maybe that's not a bad idea, especially with the fuel. At least the fuel is going the right direction. I just need these guys to cooperate and do exactly what I need them to do. Luckily, they don't cost all that much unity for making this to all work. So it is what it is, but it's fine, I think. Yeah, fill that one up. And then we have to start using sulfur next episode, which I'm sorry this was a little longer. I will try my best to stay within 60 minutes, but every once in a while this will just happen, and there's nothing I can do about it because the game is too fun. Deal with it. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.